Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
Hello and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Mary Wilson.
And I'm Kevin Worthington. On today's show, sweet potatoes. Now, most folks don't give them a lot of thought, but for some farmers in Alabama, sweet potatoes are an important crop.
Move over, Seattle. There's a new coffee destination. You can find a great cup of joe and plenty of Southern hospitality on the downtown Huntsville Craft Coffee Trail.
When we get in the kitchen a little later, Stacy Little of SouthernBite.com will show you a super easy way to make spaghetti sauce while you're at work or enjoying some family time or even relaxing by the pool.
But up first, if you're from Montgomery, you more than likely know the name Vintage Year.
Part of the Vintage Hospitality Group, Vintage Year has been one of the capital city's most popular dining spots since 1984.
But you may not know that they're now farming their own food right in their back parking lot.
Vintage Year Restaurant is a familiar sight in Montgomery's Old Cloverdale neighborhood. But tucked behind the popular eatery is a new endeavor for the Vintage Hospitality Group called MGM Greens.
It's a science project, really. I know a little bit about farming on the land, and it's completely different. I mean, there are two machines here, and we are growing vertically, hydroponically, with no pesticides, LED lights, and it's a controlled environment.
Those two machines are old rail cars. The company Freight Farms retrofitted the boxcars with everything needed to grow vegetables and herbs, including grow lights, irrigation systems, and towers.
There are over 500 farmers around the world that are using Freight Farms technology. They have an app that you can look at on your phone and control the farm, which is pretty neat.
The two containers can produce the same amount as 4 to 6 acres of land. And that means MGM Greens is producing plenty of produce for menus created by Chef Eric Rivera.
We can grow 365 days a year, anything that we want, and have a better, fresher, higher quality product overall by growing it ourselves. And with the use of hydroponics and the shipping containers, we're able to mitigate the heat, any weather, pests, and a lot of other outside influences that we couldn't control, even delivery from traditional produce. We're able to control that now.
Fresh is certainly a buzzword in the restaurant biz, but when these guys say fresh, they mean it. As in, so fresh, they have to cut the roots off.
It only hits the air once it goes out the door as a full plant, and we take it over in the pod so it continues to live as it goes through to the restaurant. And then they chop it up and serve it for a salad, and they discard the pod.
Growing your own ingredients requires good planning and lots of communication between the chef and the farm manager.
I harvest over 10 pounds per week. That's roughly about 500 plants that go to the restaurant. We plant and seed over 1,000 plants every single week.
Don showed me how the system works. We planted baby turnip seeds with a seed sower. Those grow in trays until being transplanted into vertical towers, which take up most of the space in the rail cars. After 4 to 6 weeks, it's harvest time. These little guys will be cooked and served alongside an 8-ounce Black Angus filet mere hours hours after harvest. Are you hungry yet? Along with turnips, MGM Greens also grows lettuces, arugula, chives, radishes, and Swiss chard.
It's still in its life cycle rather than on its decline. And so we find that we're able to save a lot, not waste near as much food. It helps our overall costs in the restaurant. But again, it puts a fresher, more higher quality, better tasting product on the plate.
The folks at Vintage Hospitality Group said their 2 freight farms provide more produce than they're able to use in their 2, soon-to-be 3 restaurants.
But hardly anything goes to waste. They package and sell some of the produce through retail at their Vintage Cafe and Renfro's grocery stores in Montgomery. Plus, they donate what they can to the local food bank.
To find other restaurants and even local businesses and farms that offer Alabama-grown products, visit sweetgrownalabama.org.
Now don't you go anywhere. We're just getting started. Up next on Simply Southern, we'll trek through downtown Huntsville, discovering local lattes, espressos, and more.
Installing smoke detectors in your home is a simple step to protect lives and property, but don't forget to maintain your smoke detectors. Batteries should be changed regularly. A simple way to remember this is to change smoke detector batteries at the same time you change your clocks. Did you know that you can receive a discount on your homeowner's insurance by installing smoke detectors? Visit alphainsurance.com for more tips on how to keep your smoke detectors working properly. These Alpha Insights are proudly presented by Alpha Insurance.
Wear long pants, long sleeve shirts, and closed-toed shoes. Don't be ticked. Use repellents with 20% DEET on skin and 0.5% permethrin on gear and clothing. Don't be ticked. Avoid sitting on rotten logs or stumps. Don't be ticked. Protect yourself from serious tick-borne illnesses and seek timely treatment to prevent long-term problems. No hunters were angered in the making of this film.
Not littering is not hard. If you've accumulated trash in your vehicle, don't throw it out the window. Throw it in a can at the gas pump. Throw it in a can at a storefront. Throw it in a can at work. Or throw it in the can at home. Just don't drop it on Alabama. Not littering is not hard. Brought to you by People Against a Littered State, the Alabama Department of Transportation, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Soybean is a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product.
The soybeans that we grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world.
We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
The music listening of my childhood took place mostly in my daddy's truck. We listened to old songs on the radio, made up the soundtrack of life, singing along with Hank and Ray. Nowadays, you can choose your own playlist, everything from the classics to the new stuff. Alpha's a lot like that, with a lineup of insurance options to suit your style.
Customize your insurance playlist with Alpha. Find a local agent at alphainsurance.com.
I love you, man.